welcome to today's video. It is not Lazy Sundays with Melissa, although I am barefaced. It's actually really busy Saturdays with Melissa today. It's my engagement dinner day and I have 3 videos I want to film and I need to rush to Target because I just realized my dress that I'm wearing is backless and I don't have a bra for it. So quite the busy day, but that's not related to the video at all. Today's video is going to be a first impressions / wear test on the new Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Long Wearing High Coverage Foundation. I always want to call it powder fabric, but it's power fabric. So I've heard people say powder. Anyways, this is a fairly new product. I want to say it came out couple of months ago and I've seen tons of reviews on the YouTube and everybody seems to like it. So the idea of this foundation is it's supposed to be a high coverage long wear matte finish foundation, so the polar opposite of the Luminous Silk foundation. I did do a first impressions on the Luminous Silk foundation, gosh, probably 1.5 years ago, and I liked it but I didn't love it. I typically have oily skin, and so it was just a little bit too luminous for me, but this seems like it's right up my alley. So just a little bit about the foundation for you guys. It is quite pricey. I picked mine up at Sephora, and let me look it up on my phone real quick so I get it correct. It is $64, which is really expensive for a foundation, so this better blow me out of the water. And it comes in 20 different colors. I got mine in the color 3. The color structure of Giorgio Armani foundations is really weird. 3 typically would be like way too dark for me, but I matched myself in the store when I was wearing no makeup, and 3 seems to be the best for me. I don't know. But yeah, their coloring, it's very bizarre. So anyways, I'm in a little bit of a hurry, so I don't want to chit chat too much, but let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to put it on my face. I'm gonna prime my face first, just like I always do. And if you haven't seen any of my foundation wear tests before, I like to use products that I'm familiar with so that I don't like compromise the integrity of the video. I don't want to introduce too many variables with a wear test first impressions, because then it's like, well, what was it that really didn't work for me? You know, so I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer in the smoothing. This is a pore filling primer. This is the 3rd tube of this I've gone through. I really like this primer. I use a little bit of a lot of it, just because I don't know, I really like to fill in my pores. I feel like I have really big pores right on my forehead, my cheek area, and my nose, but I just kind of rub it all over. So while I'm at it, I also prime my eyelids, just because I don't like to put eyelid primer on top of foundation. I feel like it just starts to look kind of like cakey and weird. So this is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, another product that I've repurchased. I can't even tell you how many times I've repurchased it. It's a holy grail product, that's for sure. So, okay, now that we have the priming out of the way, let's get into the foundation. It feels like there's a little, like something, can you hear that? Something's like shaking in there. So it is a glass bottle, which is nice because it's very luxurious. There's a pump, which is awesome. And there's 25% SPF in it. Let me see what the claims of this foundation are really quick. Oh, okay, there is no claims. Usually foundations have like a story on the box. There's nothing. Okay, well, long wear high coverage foundation. Those are the claims. So I'm going to... let's start with 2 pumps. We can always add more. I'm actually going to try half of my face with a brush and the other half of my face with the Beauty Blender, just to see which one works best. I typically use the Beauty Blender for pretty much all of my foundation application, but sometimes the brush works better. So let's try the brush on this side. This is the Artis Oval 7. And this looks way too light for me. Are you kidding me? Well, hopefully it oxidizes a little bit. And this is color 3. And look at it, it's too light for me. And I am a fair skinned person, you guys, and 3 is too light for me. And I feel like 4 was just too dark. I don't know. It is blending really well. I feel like it's just kind of like melting into my skin. That's nice. I really like that. Yeah, it's definitely blending really, really well. Aside from the color being too light, which is kind of throwing me off a little bit, I mean, that just like, wow. Yeah, it's way too light. That's okay. We will bronze it up with some bronzer. I'm going to use the Beauty Blender for the other side. The Beauty Blender definitely shears out the product a little bit more than the brush side. So if you're looking for a super like high coverage application, you're definitely going to want to use some kind of brush like the Artiste brush that has a flat top, doesn't soak in any product. Sigma has a really good brush. I think it's the F80 that's really good. I mean, there's a ton of really good foundation brushes, but this one is my favorite. Let's see. I'm going to use my mirror. It's like way too light for me. Look at that. I look crazy. Actually, in person it isn't too bad. So I think I like the Beauty Blender side a little bit more. I feel like the brush side, it kind of like clung to, I have some dry spots. I don't know if you guys, I didn't blend it in very well. Okay. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like right here I have some dry spots, and the brush seemed to make it cling to those dry spots a little bit more than the Beauty Blender side, and my cheeks are equally as dry on both sides. So I think because of that, I think I prefer the Beauty Blender side just a little bit more. So I'm going to, come on, readjust. There we go. I'm gonna just kind of even things out a little bit and try to make that dry clinginess go away. I think either would work. The first impressions I've watched, people have used both, but I just prefer the Beauty Blender sometimes, especially when it comes to blending things like foundations out. I just think it does a little bit of a better job. So that's that. It is definitely high coverage, but I think I'm gonna go in with another layer just because it is kind of early in the day. It's 1 o'clock right now. I don't know if you guys can see that on my phone. It's actually 1:20. But it is going to be a pretty late night for me tonight. And I'm going to be running around and sitting behind these lights and stuff for a while. So I don't want the foundation to wear away before my dinner tonight. So I'm just going to put another layer. And I'm also going to drag it down my neck. Okay, I know it's too light for me. I'm hoping it oxidizes a little bit, but it looks really good. I will say, aside from that spot right here where it's kind of clinging to my dry patches, it's really, really good. So I'm going to go in with some concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, which is one of my favorites. And yeah, I know I'm putting a lot on, but again, it's because I have a special day today, so I want to be extra concealed. I'm going to go ahead and do actually the rest of my makeup. And then I will check in with you guys and let you know how everything looks once the bronzer's on and all that, and I'll be back. All right, so it's now 3:22, so it's officially been 2 hours since I put the foundation on my face, and I feel like by the 2 hour mark, your foundation has settled, it's oxidized if it's going to, like, it's pretty much like this is what it's gonna look like for the rest of the day, but I'm still gonna do a check-in because of course the oils and all that stuff. But I think so far, I'm undecided, and I'll tell you why. So I'm gonna zoom in, and on my nose, I don't know if you guys, ooh, bright. There we go. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but on my nose, it's kind of wearing away a little bit. And I don't know if that's because I put some setting spray on, so I don't know if the setting spray got on it and like messed it up. I also did this eye look. I actually recorded it. That'll probably go up before this video, so I'll link it down below for you. But when I do really intense eye looks, sometimes I accidentally rest my hand on my nose without realizing when I'm like blending or putting on my lashes and stuff like that. So it's possible that that happened. I don't know why, but other than that, I think it looks really good. It is definitely a matte finish. I don't see any oil poking through. This, of course, is highlighter. I don't see any oils at all, which is a really good sign for me. And I don't think it's settling into any of my fine lines or my smile lines. So my biggest concerns are always my smile lines right here, my chin right here, and then right around my nose. And sometimes like my eyebrows, especially when I'm doing eye looks, I'll lift them up like this, which leaves these lines right there. And then the foundation will sometimes settle in there. But with this one, it's not settling into anything. So far so good. I don't know about that nose thing though. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I have to run to Target and then go to my engagement dinner, and then I'll check in with you guys afterwards, and we'll see how it wears when you're out and about and all that fun stuff. Alright guys, it's now 9:08, so it's been almost 8 hours since I've had this on my face. And I've got to be honest, I'm kind of ready to take it off my face. I feel like it got kind of cakey throughout the day. So I just got back from my engagement dinner, and my dad, as we are talking, is texting me photos that he took there. And there's actually quite a bit of flashback also. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but the foundation definitely gave, I mean, it's not terrible. Like, I don't have white face. You guys probably will not be able to see that at all. I don't know. You can't really see it, but there is a little bit of flashback, and I think that's why on camera my foundation looked so much whiter than it does in person. It's because of the flashback. So that's a downside. It's not good for photography, which is thumbs down. It's not something you want to wear to special events like your engagement dinner, but whatever, it's okay. As far as the wear goes, so I'm gonna scoot up a little bit and zoom in. So you can see there is a bit of shininess that has come through on my nose. I'm trying to like make sure the camera doesn't go out of focus. So my nose definitely looks a little bit shiny. You can see right there, oil's collecting right in the corners of my nose. And then on my chin, I'm trying to scoot up a little bit, it has gathered right in my chin line as well. So that's not good. I don't know if it's the setting powder that I used. I used the Too Faced Cocoa Powder Foundation, which I used to set pretty much everything. So I can't imagine that's what caused it. But the one plus, it did not settle into my smile lines, which is always a huge concern for me, a big thing I always look at, and it didn't settle into my smile lines. So that makes me really happy. So I feel like overall, well, also, it kind of looks a little bit cakey right there. You see that? Just looks a little bit on the cakey side. So I think overall for the money, for $64, I think I'm gonna return it. I don't think it's worth my money. I think the Lancome Tint Ida Ultra is a million times better, and it's probably like $20 cheaper. So I mean, overall, it's not a terrible foundation. I'm happy that it didn't settle into my smile lines, but the flashback for photography and the cakiness and the fact that my oil is coming through on my nose, not my favorite foundation. So there you go. There's my thoughts. And this is just 8 hours of wear. I know typically people wear foundations for like 10, 12 hours. So I wonder what it would look like in 10 or 12 hours. It's only going to get worse from here on out. But that is that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know if there's another foundation out there that I should review and check out. But this one is getting returned. So that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye! One more thing I didn't notice before. It is totally caking up right here on my dry patches. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Like right here, there's quite a bit of dry skin, and it's just like caking to that. Thumbs down.